Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in the evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. Shalom and blessings, family. It's your brother Bunya at you again with a quick hitter. Let's talk about this race. In this race, it's not given to the swift or the strong, men with skill. Time and chance happen to us all. In this race, there's obstacles. These obstacles must be overcome. You must overcome these obstacles. They can come in many forms. They can come in the form of addiction. They can come in the form of pride. They can come in the form of your work. They come in the form of situations at home. It can come in the form of family. And it can come in the form of friends. But you got to endure through all these things. Right? What did Mashiach endure through? Did he endure through those things? Did he endure through the things that we endure through today? Was he faced with the same challenges that we face today? Let's talk about the people that was around Mashiach. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 53. Let's read this. Let me share my screen with you. Yes, and much more. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Let me share my screen with you. See what it says. Isaiah chapter 53. I'm going to start at verse 1. Who hath believed our report? And to whom is the arm of the Most High revealed? For he should grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and we shall see him. There is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. So this is one thing we have to face in our lives. Putting forth our best effort and not getting the respect we deserve. Being rejected of people. Being acquainted with grief and sorrow. If Mashiach went through this, you should expect to go through this also. To be acquainted with these type of obstacles. Facing these type of situations and obstacles. Surely have borne our griefs. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. See that? He went through all the same things. Yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. So Mashiach wasn't good enough for our people when he walked the earth, right? But it was good, and it was good enough for him to suffer. You know, nobody esteemed him as great, but it was good enough for us to put him to death. An innocent man, a man that did no wrong to anyone, right? Can we all say that for ourselves? That we did no wrong? I don't think so. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. So Mashiach loved the people that despised him so much that he did suffer for them. For the very people that esteemed him not. For the very people that betray him. Men that he called friend betrayed him with a kiss. Isaiah 53:6. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. And the Most High have laid on him the iniquity of us all. So we're not even suffering for the stuff that we did. An innocent man suffered for stuff that we did. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He didn't even defend himself. Being falsely accused, being beaten, being put to death. Not once did he open his mouth in defense of himself. Why? Because he knew his death was for the very people that hated him, that rejected him. And he loved them that much that he suffered for them. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who should declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people, he was stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Most High to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Most High shall prosper in his hands. He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore I would divide him a portion with the great, and he should divide the spoil with the strong, because he had poured out his soul unto death. And he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. So neither one of us, none of us, are worthy to stand before the Most High and plead our cause. But he did that so that he could plead our cause, so that he can go to the Father and tell him. He understood what it was like to be on this earth and to suffer the things that we suffer, and that we can overcome those things. That the Father's given us a chance to overcome them. Mashiach's given us a chance, making intercession for us, pleading for us, for our case. The brother Najib brought this up, that the Most High destroyed the whole earth and only saved Noah and his sons and their wives. But everybody think they deserving to be spared. Everybody think they deserve to be spared. But we go through our daily lives and we do things to people and do things to ourselves and each other without even a second thought of what the Most High see when you look down on things, and how he might view certain situations. Nothing can be hidden from him. You can act as if you are trying to be on the side of good, but the Most High tries to range of people's hearts. Check this out. Jesus anointed at Bethany, right? It says, when Mashiach was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when the disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. And when Mashiach understood it, he said unto them, why trouble you the woman? For she hath brought a good work upon me. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Everything that happened is no mistake of things that happen. Some things are meant to be revealed and some things are not. But what was this situation about? Did they really care about the poor? Why have indignation? Why was it a waste to pour precious ointment on Mashiach's head? If they really understood who he was, why would they consider that waste? Is he not worthy to have precious ointment poured on his head? It's the same situation all over again. With all the prophets that the Most High sent, Israel just look at him like they ain't nothing. They treated Mashiach like he wasn't nothing, even his own disciples. But did they really care about that ointment being sold for the poor? The one who said it, he didn't care. Let's take a look at why he said he wanted to see the ointment poured. Why was the ointment important to him? Let's take a look. Mary anoints Jesus in Bethany, right? Read the same thing, different account. Then when Mashiach, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead, there they made him a supper, and Martha served. and Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Mashiach, and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. Then said one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him, why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and had to bag and bear what was put therein. Then said Mashiach, let her alone. Against the day of my burying has she kept this. For the poor always ye have with you, but me ye have not always. So that was the reasoning behind it. The Most High tries to raise in people's hearts. And people, we can act one way, but the Most High know who you are. And Mashiach gives perfect example. Watch this. This is the type of people that Mashiach was having to deal with. These was his friends, right? Betrayal and arrest of Jesus, right? Let's take a look at this. And while he spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from chief priests and elders of the people. Now, he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Mashiach and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Mashiach said unto him, Friend. Now this, let that sink in. Let that sink in. He already betrayed him. And Mashiach said to him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then they came and laid hands on Mashiach and took him. Friend. See, what Mashiach showed you right here is if you want to know who somebody is and who they are, what they're about, let them be who they're going to be. That's all you got to do. If you want to find out if you're surrounded by friends or you surrounded by enemies, through affliction, you find these things out. You know? You find out who's with you and who's against you when you leave people alone and let them be who they want to be. You want to know who somebody is? Let them be who they want to be. Mashiach showed us a lot of different things. And his life was to be an example on how we should treat one another. He gave examples on being a leader, how a leader is a servant. A leader is not meant to be propped up, to be held in high esteem. A leader is to be lowly. He's to be a servant for the people. He's to lead by example, not lead in being held in high esteem and different titles and all these different things. No. That's why I say from this point on, don't refer to me as Elder Bunya. Refer to me as Brother Bunya. Because I'm just a fellow servant like you. The Most High lifts up the lowly and the humble. But those that are proud and puffed up and exalt themselves, they will be debased. they would be thrown down. Why? Because those who lift themselves up do it by their own means, not through the Most High. They don't do it through the Most High. They do it by their own means. And the race is not given to anybody that thinks so highly of themselves that they can look down on their own brothers and sisters and think that they're better than them. But with that being said, walk in faith, walk in grace, and walk in obedience, Israel, because the race is not over. It's been your brother Bunya with another quick hitter. Shalom and blessings.